doing power core?
No, I'm not doing power core.
It's about time. Speed planet, huh?
Yes.
Dude. Why didn't they ever bring me into any episodes?
Come on, dude. You've got enough repaints for God's sake.
Repaints. I don't call it repaint.
Cliff jumper?
Really?
Welcome back to another Plasticon review. We're doing Speed Planet today. Speed Planet, you say? Speed Planet. Come on. It's a Speed Planet key. I want to give it away. The gauges on it. Look at them. 1, 2, 3 gauges. 4 if you count this silly doohickey in the middle. Today we are doing Clocker and Override. Override is the leader of this Speed Planet. Clocker here is more or less a sidekick. So we're going to start out with the little guy first. This little dude. Here's a little Clocker. Has a really sweet paint scheme. I happen to really like this guy because I'm more into the brighter colors. I love the brighter colors. It's really cool that they actually did this in the colors they did. He's got this really nice orange. This really sick baby blue color, along with this indigo looking blue, which is in his tires, on the windshield, headlights, and his eyes. Yes. That one's dead. Must get new batteries. Anyway, wow, that's bright. But you can tell he's got some pretty sweet light piping. I mean, come on. How could you not like that light piping? It's like it's awesome, let me tell you. Anyway, getting carried away with light piping here. This little guy has got a pretty cool little gun here. The gun itself, it's got a slot on the back for a Speed Planet key. You can take this, you plug it into the slot in the back, and we should get, this all works right. There we go. Pops up. It's got 2 little fold out cannons. And stick out. Have a nice same kind of orange. Looks pretty cool. I tend to like it better in this mode versus the other, because the other just looks like he's holding a box in his hand, like pizza delivery. But pretty sick little gun. It's kind of nice. And what else is great about this little gun is this will clip on in car mode. Speaking of which, let's transform this little guy into car mode. First things first, you have to unpeg his head and shoulders. They're in 3 little pegs on the front half of this. Just kind of pull it back. You can see the 3 little pegs. The only stipulation whenever you do transform this guy is watch his head, because his head likes to bob down whenever you're trying to push him into the little ports. So it's not too hard. Push this entire assembly more or less up like this for the time being. I'm going to push all these down, fold it underneath the car. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to fold these two pieces in, just like so. Then you're going to accordion all these in, this entire arm assembly. So it looks like that. Then take this entire car front, clip it in here, and it forms the front of the car. Or Grr car. Anyway, next thing you'll do, flip these up and out. Then what you can do is fold his legs in, just like so, and peg them together via hole and peg. Next thing you'll do after that is take his little gun here, plugs into these two little holes in the bottom. And there we go. We got super flying car mode. Come on, I made this up. Sorry, these two things sticking out like this, that really looks like wings. And the cool thing is you'll actually be able to still roll with these little flaps down, so kind of an added bonus. But anyway, you just take these two and tuck them away under here. Then we can go into sleek car mode. Tuck away his cannons. Then fold those down, and there we go. Another thing he's got, I don't tend to put these on here whenever he's in robot mode because it's kind of ridiculous. He's got these nice little chrome tailpipes, and they just plug right into the little hole right down the side. If you really want to be ridiculous, you can take mini-cons that actually have the port sticking out and plug them in. I've done it before. It works. It's funny. Check this out. That's for another day. Sorry. I got two black boxes of death. Anyway. Let's see here. I'm just digging around in this trash can of kibble. It's not really a trash can. Trying to find a mini-con that actually has ports to count. That's a hard thing to do. But take this little guy and fold him up kind of like so. Fold him into, it looks like I'm sitting, but he's not really sitting because he's holding himself. And then you just plug the little hole. It's ridiculous, yes I know. Anyway. Take the other tailpipe and you plug it in there. And there you go. Got our nice, sweet Cybertronian convertible. It's really, really, really awesome. I do love this car mode. This car mode is pretty sick, and I'm glad they actually did a couple repaints. I actually have a red repaint of him. I bought him at a dealer that he didn't have all the parts. The only parts he didn't have was his tailpipes on the side, but it looks awesome in red. I don't have it handy, otherwise I'd show it to you. Anyway. Moving on. Ah! I'm sorry. What a way to treat the leader, right? Well, Hasbro didn't do this guy any justice, I'm just going to tell you. Anyway, here's Override. This guy has got quite a scheme going on here. Bad thing about it, there's no light piping. Don't ask me why. This guy could have dealt with some sick light piping. He's a leader, for God's sake. And yet don't give him light piping. What is wrong with you, Hasbro? Plasbro. Anyway. There he is. Pretty cool. He's got quite a bit of articulation too. He's not too bad. Got ball jointed hips and knees. And his crotch likes to pop apart. You know, it's bad if your crotch tries to break apart. Anyway. It's got kind of a toe articulation, but it's more or less for the transformation. And he's got these nice rotating arm things that kind of flop because of the gimmick. He's got a hell of a gimmick. Let me show you. It's got this gun that actually has 3 pegs on the bottom versus the 2 that Clocker had. And if I can get him to stand up here for a sec. You take this key and you plug it into the hole, and what do you get? Dual cannon power. Awesome! Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's 2 cannons. It's kind of, I think it's weird how these just kind of go in, but it could just be my copy of this guy. One of these is kind of a little bit weak, but anyway, you're supposed to be able to put this on the back of the car just like Clocker and have the guns stick out the same way. It's kind of nice that they integrated the gun into the car. I actually like that. There's some people who complain, like, why is part of the car got to become part of the weapon? Why not? I hate having loose parts. I mean, anyhow, quick transformation to this guy because my battery's probably going to die on my camera. So I was dumb and didn't charge it. Anyway, fold these down, just like so. Next thing you're going to do is untab this in the back. It's got a hole and a peg. See the hole? See the peg? And it goes like that. Mine doesn't really like the hole very well. I'll have to do something about that. But anyway, yeah, flip this entire unit up, and then it clicks into place, just like that. And you take this entire assembly here that kind of fell down, and you try to straighten it out as much as you possibly can. It doesn't really like to. Oh, that's why. Dirt. Anyway, flip this down like this, and do this. I'll give him some childbearing hips here for a second. This is one of my biggest complaints about this guy, is this. I've seen so many people miss transformation on this guy like this, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Can you not clearly tell that that doesn't look right? Looks like he's giving birth. Anyhow, you flip these around, and these tab into this hole. Mind you, this car actually looks pretty cool. I actually don't mind this car. It's a really, really, really neat looking racer when it's all put together. And what you do is straighten his arms out. You'll flip these in. Like so, maybe. If I can get this childbearing hip here to not get in the way. It's probably because I tightened that joint earlier today because I needed it. And you push these kind of in. You're going to have to kind of hold them, because when you push this part here in, this whole entire assembly, it should lock in place. Now if it doesn't, like mine clearly didn't, this little black piece here you push forward on, because this is the gimmick. This thing is spring loaded, so that's kind of the drawback of this car. But once you get there, it holds pretty good. And to reverse this whole thing, just to show you, if I can keep my fingers out of the way, you push up on this black piece right here. And one arm didn't fly out, but he's supposed to basically almost automorph into his car mode, just like it just did. Like, he basically automorphs from car mode into his robot, like with the flick of one switch. It's a great gimmick, but I mean, I didn't find it necessary. This guy could have dealt without that, honestly, because of the way the design was. Would have been better if there was like maybe like a pop-up head or something, kind of like Skywarp, or Starscream, or Thundercracker from Armada. I'm a big fan of those. I really like those. Sadly, I don't have a Thundercracker or a Starscream, but those are on my list to get. Otherwise, I would have done back-to-back review on that one. Come on. I would have to. Why? They're seekers. You have to. It's just something you do. You have to do it. Anyway. Take this entire assembly. Plugs into those two holes you see. And there you go. There we go. There's Speed Racer. Kidding. It really looks like Speed Racer though. I mean, it really does. I love the way these wheels are on this thing though. It's actually a really sick looking car mode. That's the one big sell point of this guy, because he's really got a sick car mode. But the problem is trying to keep it together. Because this little black piece here gets hit, this entire part here likes to flip up and flop everywhere, and it causes a mess. But it's really cool. The only thing I don't like is the lack of whatever's going on back here. But who really gives a rat's ass about what the hell's going on back there anyway? There's a few classics that I've done that I've got that are actually pretty awesome. And I like the idea they're able to, integrate everything here in the back. But this guy, with the gimmick and everything, I can understand why they left this open, because if they would have had something back here, it would have kind of gotten away. But there you go. He is pretty sick. There's Override in the flesh. Let you get a good look at this sleek car design. I really do like this thing. And you guys would probably flip out if you knew how much money I paid for him. Not a dime. He's more or less free. You know why? I went to a thrift shop and I paid like $2 for a bunch of figures that they had in a bin. This happened to have been in there. So I probably gave 50 cents for him. Not even 50 cents. Probably not even 10. Because I walked out there with like 20 figures for like $2. Thrift shops are your friends sometimes whenever you have people that don't know what the hell they got. This guy could have easily sold for $20 on eBay, but some people are dumb. Yes, I'm calling you out. No, I don't care. But there you go. Well, that's been this review. Stay tuned. I have quite a bit more to go. Obviously, you can tell I'm barely even skimming the surface of what I've got. I've been putting out like a review about every other day for you guys. So I really appreciate anybody that's been tuning to my channel and checking out my goodies. I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you guys have any suggestions or anything, leave the comments below. And also, I want to give special thanks to those other YouTubers out there that do toy reviews. You guys have all been a big inspiration to me. Been learning a lot from quite a few of you guys. I love watching MGO, Optibotimus, Theo. Those guys are top on my list just because I love those guys. Those guys are awesome. I tend to try to follow them on Twitter as well. And also Vangelis. If you guys haven't checked out Vangelis, check out his stuff too. The guy's pretty awesome. Seems like film school for him is working out as well. I'm trying to do the best I can with the equipment I got, and sorry about the crappy webcam, but I can't just like drop more money on another webcam just because this isn't widescreen. But who cares? It still works because I have this camera. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon. This has been another kibble review. And I'll catch you guys later. This is Plasticon, signing off. Peace, y'all.